Okay, I've got a controversial opinion, and I can explain my reasoning as well. Conker's Bad Fur Day is a very flawed game. Judged by its contemporaries, it's like a 7, but by modern standards, it's at most a 5. The storyline is funny and humorous, and some parts of the gameplay are fun as hell, but there is a flaw in its design. The game tries many new things, and it is not a master at any of it. First gripe I have, and it's not really a gripe, more of an acknowledgement, is the quality of the audio. The audio is muffled and very low quality. For what it is enjoyable, but voice samples are so compressed that it can be difficult to understand what is being said sometimes. And with the exception of the song in the club, the music is very low quality as well. Also, the game has severe performance issues. As a kid, I never noticed this, as it's common on the N64 to have low frame rates and bad performance. With this said, the rare replay release of the game fixes the performance and the blurriness associated with the game. Remember, I am remarking on the original N64 version and hardware. The game is a blurry mess, even with the proper cables and scalers. The main gripe I have with this game is how unfinished it feels at times. The majority of mechanics and context-sensitive pads introduce new mechanics to us, and none of them are particularly well made. The controls are very rough, and mixed with a low frame rate and tight timing, these sections become very frustrating. Most of the aiming sections throughout the game have no crosshair, making it tricky to line up important shots that are often timed. Next gripe has to do with the design of the game. The game's levels are poorly designed, and there is a fluff difficulty reminiscent of the NES era titles that they should have been passed by that point. That is the tedium involved with many sections. An example is the rat that scares the boxes early on in the game. In order to get rid of him, you have to feed him cheese. Sounds simple, right? You have to feed him 3 pieces of cheese and have to do so one at a time. And if you were to die, which admittedly is unlikely this early on, then you would have to redo the entire sequence. While this early on, it's not a big issue. Later on, after the difficulty increases, massively I might add, this becomes a flaw in the design. The Great Mighty Pooh section has you throw in 1 corn, then 2 corn, then 3 corn with the same rules. This is just annoying and serves only to pad out the game and seem more difficult than it is when it's really just tedium. Speaking of difficulty, the game has a massive spike around the Ugga Bugga chapter. When you have to race the cavemen to get your money back, the frame rate dips and you have to make several laps to get the money back and knock out the cavemen. Then you have to make that final jump, which I hope you are better at than me. But that's just the beginning. You also have to take out the zombies with a slow-ass shotgun. Easier said than done. Although there is a way to cheese it with the gravestones. Then you have to fly around as a bat and shit on the squirrels that carry them to their doom afterwards, feeding your fat-ass vampiric ancestor. This requires a total of 7 squirrels, and with the awkward-ass controls, you will be taking damage. But wait, there's more! You have to take out bats on the ceiling with throwing knives before grabbing the key to unlock the door. Not only that, but there are 3 keys, so you have to go to the hedge area for a key and then grab the switch to open a hidden doorway to get the final key. This whole section is ass, with the tedious gameplay and having to redo each section again if you die for any reason. Getting into its war, we can discuss another flaw with the game. The camera angles the game likes to default to. They will make movement quite difficult, especially on a real N64 controller. The spike of difficulty is added to with the lack of depth perception, making the escape sequence one of the most painful sections of the game, compounded by giving you a bazooka that is explosive, damages you as well, and is super slow, making taking out the teddies before they can attack you super difficult. The end of this section is near impossible. The game has little tricks you can use, such as going under the fences to get out at the end. Any other method is tight and tedious and near impossible. My take after revisiting the game is that it is overrated and remembered heavily for its humor and story, and many people overlook its flaws because of this. The game is not a good game. The remake on the Xbox is, in my opinion, the better experience, even if it still has several issues and heavy censorship. At least it fixed the control issues and frame rate issues on the N64, making it more skill-based as opposed to trial and error or even luck-based. This one is one to watch on YouTube. Let someone else suffer through this game's unbalanced mechanics and difficulty. Thank you guys for watching my take on Conker's Bad Fur Day. If you have an opinion, give it in the comments and be sure to like, subscribe/follow, and click on that bell to be notified of new videos when they go live. And until next time, stay nerdy.